We need to get to the bottom of this. You've heard it said, and they're right. Ella Held is a guy. He's not even military background. He's not law enforcement background. He's 20 years old. How does he get access to a building which is a staging ground for local police special ops? How does he get to the top of the roof? There's conflicting information that he didn't use a ladder, that he did use a ladder. I don't care what the hell he used. How does he sit on that roof, then lie down, get in position? The audience is screaming, "He's got a gun! He's got a gun!" What do the media think is going to happen when they keep calling Donald Trump Hitler? When individual hosts, so pathetically egoistic, say, I fear for my liberty if Donald Trump's elected. I fear that he will throw me in prison. He hasn't thrown anybody in prison. The opposite's true. They're trying to throw him in prison, and they've thrown Bannon and Navarro in prison. And so we're going to take a look again at what will never be forgotten in world history, let alone American history, an attempt to assassinate President Trump. And let me add a footnote here. Hours after this took place, I posted and I said, Biden still has not given Secret Service protection to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'm no fan of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's a kook. But so what? The Kennedy families had two members assassinated, a president and a senator who was running for election and was going to get the Democrat nomination. Robert Kennedy, his father. And Robert Kennedy has told people, including on Fox, that he's asked for protection multiple times and they've said no. No. And so the next day, Biden ordered protection for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., something he could have done a long time ago. All right, get ready. Let's take a look. Go.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
That scream will live forever. Because there's a man on the ground who has his brains spread all over his daughters.
Move! Up! Move! Go! Up! Hawkeye's here! Hawkeye's here! Move it to the spare! Spare, get ready! Spare, get ready! We ready? Shooters down! Shooters down! Are we good? Shooters down! Shooters down! Are we good to move? Shooters down! We're good to move! We're clear! We're clear! Let's move! We're clear! Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold on.
Do you know when he was hit, his shoes flew off of him? Because they now have another angle of this. Go ahead.
Move to the bus. Let me get my shoes. Okay, my shoes down. Watch out. Wait.
I want you to look at this photograph, this graphic, which is frightening, on the right side. You see Donald Trump's head is turned. He's looking at a massive monitor for his favorite chart on immigration. He turned his head for a moment. And it hit his ear. Look at the head above it. If he hadn't turned his head, the right side of his head would have been shot off. He would have died instantly. I heard Eric Trump say on Fox that his father usually saves that for the end of his speech. But he went off prompter. You remember he said, immigration, where's that graph? Let's have that chart. That's my favorite chart. He says, there it is. And he turns his head ever so slightly. And he lives. You've got to believe, those of us who are of faith, that God intervened. Or it's absolute bum luck. I will tell you something. When I spoke to the president the next morning, I called one of my friends who works with him and I said, please convey to him our feelings. I don't want to bother him now. And he said, no, you call him. He loves when you call him, which is rare. He tends to call me, but that's good. And I called him. And when we were finishing up, I said, Mr. President, God wanted you to live for a reason. He wanted you to live for a reason. He was just listening. He was contemplating. And you know, certainly none of us, or the vast majority of us, haven't been through something like this. People have been shot in horrific ways. But what I'm trying to get to is, once the adrenaline slows down, once the horror of the moment is a few days behind you, and you start to think about these things, it really settles in. My God, what the hell happened? We need to get to the bottom of this. You've heard it said, and they're right. Hella held as a guy. He's not even military background. He's not law enforcement background. He's 20 years old. He's got a rifle. That's a long weapon. Not a pistol, a rifle. How does he get access to a building which is a staging ground for local police special ops? How does he get to the top of the roof? There's conflicting information that he didn't use a ladder, that he did use a ladder. I don't care what the hell he used. How does he sit on that roof, then lie down, get in position? The audience is screaming. Screaming. He's got a gun. He's got a gun. Not just one person, multiple people. We see this gentleman who was interviewed by BBC, said, I saw him climbing up the building. I saw him up there. We were yelling to the cops. They were just doing this. They weren't doing anything. I'm not blaming anyone yet. I'm laying out the facts as we know them.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.